Hello there, the recovery guru here. Hope all is well. Today we're working on this 1 TB Crucial X9 Pro portable SSD. This is what it looks like. It's a USB-C port kind of device. Here's the cable, here's the shell. Let me show you what it looks like inside. Here's what it looks like inside. Here's what it's looking like inside. Not much to see. If you crack it open, always crack it open from the opposite side of the connector, okay? Because if you open on the side with the connector, you're going to damage the port or potentially the SSD. As you can see here, this is very thick plastic to get in, and the glue is very strong. So if you crack it open, just be careful, don't damage the SSD, because there's potentially no way to reverse the damage. Honestly, there's no reason to open it because there's not much to see. It is just a little board with a controller here and the NAND flash chips where the files are located, with surface mount components, resistors, capacitors, and so on. There's nothing much to swap because typically those fail with NAND flash degradation, where the chips degrade where the files are hosted. And if you were to swap to another SSD, you'll be swapping the problem. So there's not much to see. Electronics, rarely do those fail with electronics damage, so there's not much to do there either, unless you have advanced knowledge and tools to do micro-soldering and so on. So anyway, this customer is from Walpole, Massachusetts, which is a suburb of Boston. They say they were using it on a Mac, so here we have it connected to our Mac. As you can see, the LED is on, it's connected. We're using something like dish drill, for example. It's not showing up in dish drill. Let's use something else. Let's use I don't know, what is this? Recovery Explorer. Let's see, does this see it? Not seeing it. A lot of people, first thing they do, they go to disk utility to see if they see something, you know. As you can see, it's not listed here. So you know what, let's unplug it and plug it back in again. Typically a good drive, it will show up here in the corner and mount the volume correctly. As you can see, there's something wrong with this SSD. It's not mounting correctly, so we're gonna hit ignore. Never initialize or format a drive if you want to recover the data from it. Never. Just hit ignore here. As you can see, it mounted something. Okay, Micron is the Micron chip, which basically is the type of chips that Crucial uses for their storage. As you can see, we see a model, we see the correct capacity. However, it says uninitialized. Something's going on. If we run a first aid, which you don't recommend unless you have backup, let's see what happens. Okay, first aid process complete. Operation successful, done. But as you can see, if we look at the tools, still not showing. Let's close this one. What about dish drill? Does it show? Nope. See, unknown. Let's close this drill. Dish drill is not responsive. It's because the SSD is like failing. I guarantee you that as soon as I unplug the SSD from the computer, this wheel goes away. Let's see. I'm gonna unplug it. Okay, check it out. Let's see, is the wheel going away? Boom, done. You see, this is confirmation that the SSD is failing and is not working correctly. That's why it's freezing the computer. So a lot of people at home, they're thinking, well, what else can we do? Well, another option that people may have is to use a Windows computer or a Linux computer. You know, they might get lucky. Many times with SSDs, that typically doesn't yield any kind of fruitful results. But let's see. We are going to connect it here to our Dell machine. Sometimes people go to like IT departments at work or family, friends or whatever, and they try this. Okay, plug it in. We are in this management. You heard the chime. Here's the light. It's on. But as you can see, it's not registering. So we're stuck. There's not much to do. Software doesn't see it properly. It freezes the software. It freezes the computer. It doesn't mount on Windows or any other machine. So the only option is to send it to a professional, you know, like us here at Data Recovery Guru. So this customer decided to bring it to us, do a diagnosis, and see what's going on. So we have a few tools that we usually try to work with SSDs, but we're gonna use the best one here. This P1000 Portable Pro made by Ace Labs. Here's the SSD, it's connected to our USB port here. We have write protection, so nothing gets written to the SSD. All right, let's close this, we don't need. Okay, so here's our USB software for Ace Labs. Power on, let's see, is the LED on? LED is on, so the tool is powering the SSD on. This cable is tricky to work with one hand. Let's put it there like that. Okay, very good. We apply power. As you can see, we have physical connection. That's good. And let's see if we can access data. Okay, I'm gonna say here test. That's the USB port. Good. Make data copy, file image. Okay, it's initializing the software and the SSD. Let's see. This tool is $25,000 with on average about $1,000 worth of updates. Not cheap. So not very practical for anybody at home or IT companies, computer shops, stuff like that. They don't buy this kind of stuff because it's not affordable. As data recovery specialists, this is what we do. We invest in tools, knowledge, expertise, and so on to be able to provide this kind of service to help people. So here's the SSD. As you can see, it's initializing with the correct capacity. Let's see, can we access data? Sector editor. Okay, it's talking to it. That didn't work. It gave us some kind of error. It says hardware error. Okay. Let's go here. Let's try in a random location. Hey, look at that. Okay, so we can read data. So as you can see, one of the reasons why the software cannot communicate with the SSDs because they were trying to read the master boot record, the signature of the data for the volume to see if we can find the volumes, and it couldn't. And the reason being is because it's degraded. But if you have specialized tools and you're able to work with different areas on the SSD, then as you can see here, we can access data and read data successfully. Okay, but on a computer, this cannot happen. Let's see if we can actually have data access to the volume of data. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. All right, I'm gonna back up a little bit because I like to respect the customer's privacy. Right, as you can see, there's the exFAT volume. Okay, as you can see. All right, ooh, there you go. You see, we can see all the folders and files. And now we can see the customer's files and be able to recover them. To be honest, we have already done the recovery on this one. We have completed recovering all the files except only one file that's basically located in a bunch of degraded areas where those chips are, but it's basically 99.9999% successful. All right, so that's it for this one. If you need professional help, let us show you how to find us. Okay, you'll go online at datarecoveryguru.com. On the homepage there, you're going to see a blue button. It's called Let's Start with a Free Diagnosis. Click on it. You'll be presented with a form asking you for your name, email, phone number, and so on. Fill it out, arrange for a free diagnosis, and we'll be in touch with you shortly after. If you have questions, call, text, WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, us at this number, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Call is the least productive. Why? Because this field is visually intensive. We need to see what kind of model drive you have. There's gazillion different models, and we need to see kind of like what we're working on, how it's behaving. So video or pictures are the best. So you can use any of the methods we just explained: WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, text message, etc. Or you can find us on any of the popular social media platforms. All right, thanks so much. Like, subscribe if you are interested in this kind of material, and we always make more interesting content. All the best. Take care.